Then I.
Oh, darn.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call this regular meeting of the Nevada City Council to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Hold on one second. There we go. Henry Corbin,
Here.
Dane Nielsen,
Here.
Jason Sampson,
Here.
Steve Skaggs.
Here.
Sandy Eric. Here.
Can I get a motion for the approval of the agenda? Move to approve, second. Any discussion? Please vote. It was nice.
I just opened it.
Ryan. There we go.
Voice vote. Approved. Moving on, number 4, looking for a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Please vote. Okay, approved. Next, we're gonna move on to mayor appointments. Rhonda, that's it, Mike Miller for the Parks and Rec Board opening.
Move to approve, Mike.
Second.
Any discussion?
Thanks, Mike, for stepping up. I know you've been doing a lot for the community lately. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Please vote. Mike, you are on the Parks and Rec Board.
Let him. Great.
Rick?
Perfect. Thank you. Tonight, we're doing the appointment of Peyton Alderson as a permanent member of the fire department. Peyton came to us a year ago and started the probationary process, which is long and arduous. During that time, he's required to learn how to pump and drive all the apparatus in addition to firefighter 1 skills. Peyton is one of our main call getters since being on the department. He's very active. I have some stuff about Peyton. The council usually likes to know who's getting on the department. So Peyton graduated from Nevada in 2014. He lived in Northeast Iowa for about 3 years after his graduation. Once he moved back home, he worked for a local farmer and met his wife, Sydney. They were married in February of 23. They have 2 daughters, Allie, the 2-year-old, and Macy is the 5-month-old that we've heard. So, and he works at Brown Heavy Equipment for the last 3 years. 2 years of it's been as the parts manager. He enjoys golf, spending time outside, hanging with family, and they have a cottage in Michigan they go to visit, and he's pleased to help being a part of the community and help the community. So as customary with this, as the mayor swears them in, they get their badge to be a permanent firefighter for Nevada. And they also get the black shield on their helmet. The orange shield is our probationary members, so that we know not to put them in a more dangerous position. But now that he's got a black helmet, that means that he's full-fledged firefighter trained. So with that, I would ask if you would swear him in.
Yeah, absolutely. Peyton, you want to come up? Your right hand and repeat after me. I.
I, Peyton Alderson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
the State Code of Nevada, Iowa,
the City Code of Nevada, Iowa,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of firefighter for
discharge all the duties of the office of firefighter for
the city of Nevada, Iowa, as now or hereafter required by law.
the City of Nevada, Iowa, as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
For the record, they've all said that the swearing in is worse than burning the.
No doubt.
Hey, Ray, where does that put us at for staffing on the fire department?
We have 40 people, so we've been staying right at that 40 mark. We've had a few folks that have moved out of the district and different areas, so first of the year, usually December, we kind of take that training break, but first of the year, we're hoping to try and revamp our program to do some more heavy recruiting. So if you know somebody interested in serving the community, we're happy to fill that. We have 10 spots to be full staff. So,
How many of those are permanent?
ooh, good question. I would say I'd have to count, but roughly 5 have not been on a year. So a majority of our folks have been on we had this big rush about 6 years ago. So we've got a lot of folks at that 6-year mark, and we generally find if we can keep them a year, they generally stay with the organization. But our biggest enemy is promotions, job promotions, and people pulling people away outside our community. So it speaks to the volumes of the work you're doing to recruit businesses here that are supportive of the fire department, growing houses in this district, because our fire district is growing. In the city, our responsibilities are growing. And so the more you do to bring people to Nevada, the more it helps our chances of recruiting for the fire department. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Peyton.
Moving on to the public forum. It's time set aside for comments from public on topics of city business other than those listed on the agenda. No action may be taken. I only have one card, and that is from Rick.
Rick Martinez, 255 West E Avenue. Good evening. Just a couple things. One, I wanted to let you know that my wife and I, we walk our dogs in the trail more on the west end. And we talk to people all the time, and they absolutely love all the work that's been on the creek and along the trail. All it looks great. I didn't know what to expect, especially when it was such a big mess, but it's by now cleaned up. It looks really good. So I just want to make sure you guys were aware of all that. Secondly, as much as possible, I tried to zoom into the meetings rather than come here, but it's difficult when they're not here speaking. I can't hardly hear them, or it's broken up or whatever. So if you could just do the best you can, I would appreciate that. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything for public forum? Yep. Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Michelle Hess. I just moved here a couple weeks ago. I live at Oak Park Estates. My children go to school at Nevada Christian, and I don't know if any of you've noticed, the traffic on 6th Street can be very busy there. Not only do my kids cross the street to go to school, there's one other family that crosses. And sometimes it's kind of scary. And as a parent, I want to be able to just be like, yes, please walk to school. That's so convenient for me. But I have to go and act as a crossing guard and get my kids there safely. There's no sign whatsoever that says, this is a school, slow down. Or I think in most areas, school traffic is supposed to be like 25 miles an hour. There's nothing that says like the mother, holding the child's hand, that children are supposed to walk across there. there's nothing really identifying that, you know, children cross the street. So I've called many of you, I'm sure you've heard from me. I would really like a crosswalk, a sign, a flashing light, something that announces that children cross here at like 8 in the morning. Nevada Christian just runs Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4. So it's kind of busy times when like people are going to work. Yeah, I just think for my kid's safety and the other family's safety, before an accident happens, I would like some sort of notification that children are crossing. And they told me to come here and plead my case. So that's what I'm doing. Anything else I need to say or comment on with that? I'm new here. I've never done this before, so. Okay.
Okay, you did good.
Okay, great. My children did make signs, of them trying to cross the street and saying, please don't hit me, and, you know, to cars. So, I could share those with you as well, but I think you get the idea. Just a mother wants her children to be safe like we all do. So if we could get a sign, something, that'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything for public forum? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close the public forum. Move on to the next item, approve change order number 4 for wastewater treatment improvements, phase 4 from On Track Construction.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Please vote. Approved. Item 8, discussion and appropriate follow-up regarding request from Andy's Armory.
Good evening, council. So Andy wasn't able to make it, but I've kind of laid out my thought on this. What I wasn't able to do was get you an overview image of where that is, because on the Beacon website and Google Earth, it's hard to tell where that space is amongst the buildings. But I can tell you that it's surrounded on all 4 sides, except for the walkway that goes back probably 45 feet into an opening towards the alleyway. So in the ordinance, in order to shoot a projectile in city limits, you need council's permission, unless it can be, you know, completely secured. And looking at the layout that it has, it's pretty well secured. I mean, for Red Ryder BB gun and those type of items that he would like to do, like a hunter safety course-esque type stuff, to teach kids to shoot BB guns or adults and stuff like that. So the only area that was of not concern, but just noticing, was that if a person were to point the gun straight up in the air, you could launch it over the buildings, possibly. It's a 1 in a million chance, but I wanted to bring it before you guys to ask for permission in case somebody down the road sees this and doesn't like it. We have it's a reasonable request. And then that way we can articulate why we allowed for it to happen. So
is he gonna be shooting, cause I drove through that alleyway, right? It's gonna be in the alleyway
well, so when you
between the
drive
2 buildings.
right, but when you drive through the alleyway, you could see where kind of that scrap steel was. As you look towards the east, it's actually along that walkway and tucked in between the buildings. So you can't see it from the alleyway because there's a building on the west side of it. So you would walk out the rear of his building that he rents, turn, walk forward another 15 feet, and then that's where that opened area is.
It's blocked in on 3 sides.
It's blocked in on four sides.
So is it the kind of thing where people will pay to be in a class, or is it?
Yes, well, from our discussions, it's kind of a 2-part deal. I think he'd offer it as a learning thing for like Cub Scouts, kids, younger, and things like that. But with any idea that grows, I mean, you could easily have, you know, like a father-son day where you pay $15, you learn to, you know, tie fishing lures, do that stuff, you shoot and compete with your kid, similar to what, you know, we do at the Boy Scouts and stuff when we go to Camp Matigua. So I feel like it could be a father-son, you know, day down the road and fun stuff like that. But as of right now, it's just for education purposes for that stuff. Andy went and got his teaching certificate for hunter safety course stuff. So
To the north or to the south?
are you on Beacon?
No,
No.
on Google
Then I can
Maps.
talk you through it.
On Google Maps.
Oh, Google Maps. So his building, it would be to the north of that. There's about 15-foot wide gap.
Okay.
And then there's a building directly behind it, as well as the facade in front of it. It's, I know, I really wanted to give you guys an overview of it, but it just, you can't tell. So,
It's not a very large area that I saw back there. It's enough just to shoot a BB gun or slingshot.
yeah,
Oh, there's like a little.
it's a little nook. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. It's,
Yeah. What I call it is.
So, I'm in favor of the idea. I think it's great to teach kids those skills, when they're young. So what are we looking at here? Is this council is?
yeah,
is there
so
an
in the
ordinance?
so in the ordinance, it states that they need council written permission in order to do such a task, right? So in my time here, I've never seen
Yeah.
that happen. So yeah, I don't know.
Is there some way we can grant that permission without taking on any liability ourselves related to that?
Yeah, so I mean, my thoughts on it, and I'd written myself some notes when reviewing this, but I think you could definitely provide that approval. I would like to see some kind of agreement, though, that would have indemnification if something were to happen. Make sure
Yeah.
that there's appropriate insurance
Yeah.
that they would carry. So if something were to happen, that there is going to be the fallback on the city.
Right.
Just transfer the liability, have an indemnification, and then have the insurance provisions as well.
Right, and that makes total sense. So I can reach out to him and he could possibly scan in his like umbrella insurance that I'm sure he carries for the liability for all the items that he has in his store and things of that nature. As well as I'm sure because he does some of the adventure tour stuff, I'm sure that they have some sort of injury insurance or, you know, something along those lines as well.
Yeah.
So.
Can we authorize Aaron to look into, I guess, what we need to do?
Yeah,
Yep.
can we put together a draft agreement?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I agree with Steve. I think it's a good idea. I haven't. And maybe this conversation for later. I had a constituent this last week who had a neighbor fire a firearm into her yard and kill a squirrel. While her dog was outside.
Yeah,
You're
that's.
probably. So how is this different from that? Like, if that was technically okay by law, why do we have?
Well, and Chief Brandis can correct me. if
Sorry to
I'm
put you on
wrong.
the spot.
No. But
Your timing was just
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, so shooting that projectile from your property to another homeowner's property is not allowed by ordinance. You can't discharge a firearm. And so we run into the discussion with Andy's Armory about, you know, BB gun compared to a rifle or any other firearm. There's quite a bit of a drastic difference, but also I believe you need to have your not insurance, but your hunting license in order to shoot squirrels. They're similar to geese. I'm sure there's a season.
So with Andy's Armory and 4110, so 4110 is firearms, so that covers discharging firearms. The city limits saying it's not authorized. 4111 is a projectile, and that specifically references arrows, BBs, pellets, airsoft, and such. So when we're talking with Andy on the Armory aspect, that's 4111, as long as he's not just shooting any firearms. But part of that provision is it has to be on property you have the right to or access to. Can't leave, go in the public right away, go to property that you don't have permission for. So shooting a pellet gun or a BB gun into somebody else's yard to kill a squirrel is a violation of the city code. There was a calls for service related to that. And squirrel does have a game season that you have to have a hunting license for. So like I said, there was a calls for service for that. That was addressed accordingly with an officer.
Mhm.
So they're kind of separate issues, but they fell under the same code section.
Okay. It just feels weird that we have to okay for this for him to do it on his own property, but then that, yeah.
Cool. Any other discussion? All right, please vote.
We have.
Do we wanna,
Right.
do we wanna vote on this, or do we?
Want to vote
We
on
wanna
it,
have-
too.
Yeah.
Agreement.
Okay,
There wasn't a motion on this yet,
Correct.
but I think let's bring it back with an agreement.
okay.
Is there a timing concern, Ryan? Can it wait till next meeting?
I believe we can wait till next meeting, yeah.
So I need a motion.
I'll reach out to Andy and
yes.
I don't think there was a motion on this.
No,
Yeah. Okay,
move to table it.
Do we need a motion or do we
Pending
just
in-
give guidance?
No, you've given guidance. We can go ahead and just put it on the next agenda.
Closed.
right then. Next item, approve historian for your CDBG facade grant.
This would be for Eocene.
I'll move that we approve EOC as the historian for the project.
Second. Any discussion? Please vote. Okay, approved. Next item, approve lead asbestos testing for CDBG facade grant.
Move to approve Environet.
Second.
Any discussion? Please vote. Approved. Next item, approve well number 7 rehab for the water department.
I'll move to approve option 1.
Second.
Any discussion? Please vote. Approved. Item 12, approve the purchase of a used tender from Johnston Fire Department.
Hi, back in the day, we used to call them tankers, but the fire service term is actually tender. A tanker is an airplane that flies, and so we're not getting that. But we had, yeah, saving a little money for the city. We have 2 tenders that are 32 years old. Their job is to haul a large amount of water to rural fires predominantly. They do come with a pump. It's a smaller pump, not like an engine's pump. Johnston currently has a tender that they're mostly urban. They're starting to get landlocked. A lot of the rural departments around them are doing their rural stuff. So they don't have a need for it. They have 2. They want to go down to 1. We'd like to do the same thing, but with a newer tender. They originally put out a flyer that said, we're selling this for $85,000. We said, we'll take it as soon as the council approves. And 40 other people said the same thing. So then they realized that they should probably do it by bid. So they asked for bids and they were going to open those bids on the 24th. And it's taken a little bit more of a twist. The chief is new, great guy. Did not realize that they dispose of vehicles through Gov Deals. So now they're going to put it on Gov Deals and highest bidder wins. So I've talked with Karen Jordan, Director Brandis, and we believe that this will set our city up that we probably will not have to buy a large vehicle for the fire department at least the next decade or two. So this'll, we'd like to go from, down from two tenders to one. So go down our fleet. That's always been our goal, to kind of lessen the number of vehicles we have without reducing our capabilities. So what we're hoping to do is get council's approval to pursue this tender, and then do a budget amendment at the end of the year, like we do every year with a budget. And that would put us in a newer vehicle that's in great shape. We've inspected it, we've researched it, and we think that we would like to purchase this vehicle. So we probably wouldn't go higher than, I can't say an amount because it's going to be a auction, but you have it on your sheet there. So.
Just a couple questions. How does the size of this compare to our current ones? It's quite a bit bigger, isn't it?
So this is a 2,000 gallon tender.
Yep.
One of our old tenders is 2,000 gallon and the other one is 2,600 gallon. So our plans are to get rid of the rural one that's the 2,000 gallon. We'd be supplementing that. We just had a discussion with the street department about keeping the other one because it's a DNR vehicle. It would be a reserve for us, but street department would graciously keep it and use it for flushing and, flushing all the sewers. And we'd have that capability should we have some disastrous fire that we needed to pull it out of mothballs and use it. So I think with the new engine coming, that's 1,500 gallons, we're basically taking 3,500 gallons of water out the door first out. And so I think that the setup is pretty nice for us to be able to take an engine and a tanker to a rural fire, have a really good knockdown, and tell our mutual aid can get there. And I feel very comfortable that one tender is a good way to go.
What's the price difference between this and a brand new?
I'm sorry, what?
The price difference between this and a brand new one?
Yeah, great question. So the vehicle that we would purchase in approximately 2 to 3 years would be $500,000. So this, we're hoping we can get this at a reasonable price. I guess since it's going on Gov Deals, it doesn't matter unless somebody listens going to outbid us. But we think we wouldn't go much higher than $100,000. If they're offering 85 out the gate. The thing that bothers me is that 40 other departments want this particular one because it's in such good shape. So if we don't get it, we don't get it, and we would probably just move on to replace a 20-year-old attack truck and kind of let our capital build up and go after a newer tender. But this is about 10 years newer, so.
What do you do with a 32-year-old tender when you're done with it?
Great question. I think the way that Kevin Bell and Brad Tyndall have taken care of our vehicles, that it would be great for a farmer for spraying, watering cattle. We're talking about using it to flush our sewers and storm sewers and stuff like that. So it's a water truck. The difference is in that capacity, you're not going to an emergency driving lights and sirens with a heavy vehicle that's 32 years old. The other thing too is with this vehicle in particular, airbags, heavy duty brakes, suspension, all the things that weren't really available back in 32 years ago. There's a lot more firefighter safety built into the newer trucks in this. So, and then, like I said, our plan has always been to have one tender. I don't see us not being able to do that with our rural commitments. But like I said, we've spec'd out the one we want, and it's $500,000. So if we can get it for 400,000 less and have basically the same vehicle, just a little older, I think it sets our fire department up real well.
Any other discussion?
Please vote.
Sorry. Do we get a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Option one.
Option one.
I will second that.
All right. Now please vote.
It's gotta be hard to have an auction when like every government's capped by what their city council says.
Yeah, we thought
And it's
a
all.
week ago we would have it. So like subject, we were waiting for this meeting though for your approval and stuff, but definitely it'll be worth it if we can get this.
Approved. Moving on to item 13, approved purchase of fire hose and nozzles for new fire engine through FEMA grant.
So we applied for the Assistance to Firefighters grant. We generally try and put an application in every year because the match is 5%. And I wrote a grant for $20,000, anticipating our new fire engine would come in right around this time frame. It's supposed to come in the day before Thanksgiving, but it's a fire engine, doesn't come with any equipment except for ladders and pike poles. And so we're kind of moving some stuff around that will go on that. But we were approved for the grant for $20,000. The city's match is $994, of which we budgeted in our capital. And so this will equip our vehicle with all brand new hose, all brand new nozzles, and appliances that come with it, gated wise and stuff like that. So certainly, you know how I feel about grants. If somebody else is paying for it, although it's all of us paying for it, it certainly helps us on our budget. So we would like to go with option one. The difference in price is that one, it's the same kind of hose that we have used since I've been here. The hose, we know how it performs. The other hose that is quoted in the bid number 2 is kind of a lesser known brand hose. We don't have the experience with that. Not saying it wouldn't work, but we're pretty comfortable with keeping the same equipment that we currently use. There's a lot of value in knowing the performance of that. One of the bids is less, but it doesn't include the nozzles. That would be bid number 3. And so it's $2,000 less than the whole package with McQueen, but it doesn't include the nozzles, and that's a substantial amount. So and so from our perspective, bid number 1, although a little bit higher, is currently with equipment that we're trained on and that we know how to use, and we know the performance of it. And we have pretty good understanding with that salesperson that if there's a problem, McQueen would take it back. And we just did that. We had the wrong connections on our large diameter hose that we purchased, and they took it back, changed it to the store's connections, didn't charge us anything, and said our fault. So I feel like their customer service is well worth it. So that would be our request.
Any legal issues with that?
No, it's not a public improvement project.
Okay. I'll move to approve option 1.
I'll second it.
Ray, one of the things you did say was it's not the same quality as your experience with Key Echo hose. So have you had experience with this hose or no?
We have had, not this hose, but we have had other hose when I first came here that didn't survive our hose testing.
Okay.
We started hose testing about 11 years ago, and we lost about 25% of our fire hose. I think Director Martinez at the time remembers that. We were in a kind of a panic to buy a lot of fire hose quickly. And so we switched to this Key brand, and we hose tested every year. We've never had a section of Key hose go bad, knock on wood. And so we feel very comfortable that this is good quality. One of the problems with the rubber lined hose is that the rubber lining will kind of come out, and it's like a rubber line with cotton jacket. And we've seen other hose where the rubber has come out and the hose section is destroyed. You can't replace it. You can't recouple it. And so I think for a quality standard, we really like the Key hose, and it comes with our department name on it. So it doesn't go to other fire departments after a fire scene. So it's just the quality of it.
Just one last question. I'm not opposing the other one. Just have you talked to any other departments that have actually used this Sandy Hook?
So we do purchase stuff from MES, just not fire hose. We purchase different tools from them. We kind of spread the love with all of the fire service distributors, but this particular hose, no. I can tell you that the nozzles that they were proposing we have talked to fire departments in the metro, and they have told us exactly what nozzle they would recommend. We have one smoothbore nozzle on our current city engine, and we would replicate that nozzle on our other one. And it's the Elkhart 7A smoothbore. So you can get other nozzles. The Hen nozzle is something that they've been trying to propose, but it's just the price goes up when you get the brand name, I guess. So it's not, they said it was nice, but it wasn't really what they thought it would do. And so we like to stick with things in the fire service that are tried and true and tested, and other departments have good success with it. Dennison uses Echo Hose, and you know, so that's kind of how we got onto it, and we've been sticking with it ever since.
Never a good time to find out your hose does not work.
Yeah, it's a little bit disconcerting. Yeah.
Okay.
There's been a motion and a second for option one. Any other discussion? Please vote.
Thanks, Ray.
Approved.
Thank you.
Thanks. Item 14, approve pay request number 2 for Oak Park Estates Trail from Midstate Solution LLC in the amount of $70,871.11.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Please vote. Approved. Item 15, discussion and appropriate follow-up regarding Habitat Management Grants Program.
Good evening, everyone. I kind of laid everything out in the action form before you. I think applying for this grant would be a great way to enhance the trail loop, and then also Meadow Lane, the trail loop. As you read, hopefully in here, is not doing very well, and working with Rhett and Country Landscapes with some of the, you know, the labor and things of that nature will save the city significant dollars to be able to replant that prairie, and then also add some aesthetics down at Meadow Lane in those areas where there's standing water, and we can make those be a little bit more of a great place, I guess, for non-game wildlife. So we do have funds in our open space budget to be able to have some matching funds for this grant, if it's okay for us to go ahead and apply for this.
Rhonda, I'm looking through it here and I don't recall, what was the matching required?
It's not really specified, but it's not specified in the grant. That's why I had a hard time writing this up, because it isn't specified. But if we were to get, sorry, I'm having a little issue here. If we were to get, let's say we were to get a $5,000 grant, I think if we put $5,000 in, I know that we could, from what Rhett has quoted, I know that we could plant a lot of nice prairie and a lot of nice shrubbery and things of that nature.
Has the green belt been reseeded since it was done originally? Or
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a little bit going on with all of this. So it was initially just going to be for Meadow Lane. The grant project was going to be for Meadow Lane. And then I thought to myself, well, this would make a lot of sense with what Rhett's proposal is to tie this all together, since it's all part of the Greenbelt Trail. So for some reason, the prairie died this year. No reason, no known reason as to why it died. But it was thriving and beautiful last year. And unfortunately, it died this year. There's, I live in that area and I walk there all the time, and I thought it looked a little odd, but what do I know completely about prairie? I just was like, well, this isn't performing as well. Maybe all the water was something to do with it, but I thought it might flourish in that. So Rhett and Ben Hershey, Rhett Fayborg and Ben Hershey reached out and were like, did anybody spray anything in this area? And I'm like, no, nobody sprayed anything, because we have some individuals that like to go down there and kind of take care of some of the weeds and stuff like that. But I'm like, nobody's done anything down here, and we're just racking our brains. I did indicate to Rhett that maybe we should do some soil testing in that area. For a variety of different reasons. And I think that it's important to do the soil testing to see maybe why the prairie might have died this year. The area is a lot of storm runoff. And with all the rain this year, I don't know what may have flowed from the, airport road to that area. So we're going to do a little bit of this. The reed canary grass was under control and all of a sudden came back again. So Rhett decided that it would just be better off to start over and kill it all and then replant and hopefully have better success. So I think the grant helps cover some of the costs associated with the plantings. And like I said, Country Landscapes did all of the work, and the last time with us just purchasing the seed for the prairie as well.
I can certainly see support in the project. I wonder if we could put a dollar amount on the matching component or upper level, like, up to 5.
So I was thinking $5,000 is what we'd offer as kind of a matching component. Usually most grants with something like that, I think it would be a good grant if we were able to do that.
Okay.
Was $5,000.
That seems reasonable. I'll make a motion for option 1 with a $5,000 limit, I guess, on cities.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Please vote.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, approved. All right, moving on to reports. Ryan,
I'm good unless you guys have questions.
Chief.
I actually have something, so mainly just a highlight from some of the ordinances we've passed in the past. On October 15th, we were called to F Avenue, the 1600 block, for a structure fire, house on fire. 2 PD raised fire pickup, and then the city's engine all were able to respond, be on scene. Fortunately, it ended up being a very small fire. The structure's not damaged or anything, but with the parking ordinance, it was right around 2:30 to 3 o'clock. So as high school's getting out, we were still able to get there, had the fire engine right there on site. We were able to get some fans going to air out the residents so they weren't displaced at all. So one of those things that Ray and I have talked about being afraid of happening, did happen, but we had the steps put in place that we were able to get there. So other than that, if you have questions, I'll answer those.
Don't you say I told you so?
No, I was saying thank you for doing it.
Carlos? Ron?
Just a couple of things. First of all, thanks for approving Mike Miller to be part of the Park and Recreation Board tonight. Mike, thank you very much. I've got to work with Mike on a number of different items throughout many years, and he's a great guy, and he'll be very much an asset to our board. Secondly, I just wanted to let you know that our Parks and Recreation Board had a goal setting meeting on October 22nd. And we had a great meeting, and I will have all of that information in my written report for you for next council meeting. And that way I can answer any questions that you might have from that. But we have a really good team, and we're set to go many years into the future with great enhancements in our Parks and Recreation and our well-being here in Nevada. So appreciate all your support for Parks and Recreation. And thank you.
Good evening, Anna from the library. I just thought I would share some of the fun things that we're going to be rolling out in November. We have these great discovery kits. They're not quite done yet. They need some signage and a few other things in them, but there's 20 of them total that Dylan has put together, our youth services librarian. And it's from a grant that we were awarded that she applied for, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers Region 4 Science Kits for Public Libraries grant. So like I said, we have 20 of these. They range from, this one happens to be electricity. They all have some type of book with them. And then different activities. So this is about circuits. That will teach the kids about circuits. We have ones about coding that has activities and hands-on coding things for them to do. We actually have one that's fort building. I almost brought it, but I'm like, oh, this is kind of big, but it's a pretty big thing. And so I have a 10-year-old, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting some of these going as well. We have some math and addition. She did a really good job pairing books with some hands-on, and you can buy some. She did look at some pre-made ones because, but it was so much, we were able to do so much more by her just kind of coming up with the ideas and packaging them herself instead of ordering pre-made kits. So we're excited to launch these on November 3rd. And then the American Heart Association has donated blood pressure kits that we'll have available for checkout. I know I've had my doctor at one point say, keep track of your blood pressure for the next month and then come back in. So they also, when they gave these to us, they went out to the different medical providers here in town and kind of did some marketing for them. So we're rolling these out as well in November. And then November 11th is Staff Development Day. So we are going to be looking at our long-term plan and kind of talk about, I call it, some people call it dreaming, but I call it visioning. So of how I'd like to see the library using our strategic plan and our capital improvement plan, and trying to make everything line up with what the staff has for their visions of the library. So looking forward to that. And just to want to let you know that we had some changes we added a new, we added a couple regular part-time positions this last quarter, and those are working out very smoothly. We're able to have some nice consistency at the front desk and then front desk for scheduling. It's been wonderful. Plus it's great to give people an opportunity to work their way up in a library world. So that's what I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Looks like fun.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm good. Thank you for your support.
I'm good. Thank you for voting the well passed. I don't have anything.
Jordan?
Nothing this evening unless you guys have any questions for me.
Council?
Main Street downtown trick or treat this Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m.
All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Adjourn.
You got those.
It's cheap.
I love it.